Stampede erupts at the Nipsey Hussle vigil. The police ask everyone to leave. 19 individuals are injured. Me and the Notification Gang would like to invite everybody to come join us Monday through Thursday, 9:20 to 10 o'clock for morning coffee, where we discuss the events of the prior day and also just talk mess about stuff. See you then. BBN, Jack Frost. What's up, party people? So yeah. So apparently the other day, 19 people were injured in a stampede after panic erupted at a Nipsey Hussle vigil. For everybody that don't know, since the tragic passing of Nipsey Hussle, people have been gathering at the spot, which is actually at the spot where it happened, which is actually where he owns a lot of the stores that are around there. So that's where people have been gathering as of late. And so apparently last night there was a chaotic scene that occurred late on Monday in Los Angeles, Monday, April 1st. And it involved the police and suspects. People that were there. I don't want to call them suspects, but people that were there that some people obviously were getting ran off by the police. They were suspected of something or other. You already know how they do us. Anyway, at least 19 people were injured in the stampede Monday night after hundreds gathered at a candlelight vigil in South Los Angeles for the late rapper Nipsey Hussle. A Los Angeles police spokesperson told BuzzFeed News a fight apparently broke out at a makeshift vigil in a parking lot where Hussle was killed the day before, prompting about 300 people to suddenly flee in all directions. No shots were fired, despite earlier media reports, the spokesman added. Okay, so I've seen this report a couple of different places, and some of the reports actually say that there were shots fired. And the interesting thing is, apparently somebody was injured by, I don't know if they're saying if it was a projectile or not, but somebody was injured, and they're trying not to say that it was a gunshot, but also they're not saying that it was with a knife or anything. I don't know. It sounds like they're covering something up. The Los Angeles Fire Department said 19 patients were transported to local hospitals with injuries, 2 of them in critical condition. The majority of the injuries were caused by trampling from the crowd. One person was injured after being struck by a vehicle. Another suffered a penetrating wound of unknown cause, fire officials said. That's basically what I was just alluding to. It was a penetrating wound of unknown cause. I don't get that. It sounds more like they were told not to say how the injury actually happened. That's what it sounds like to me. I can be incorrect. Also, the person was struck by the vehicle. I've seen reports where they said that it was actually a female that was struck by the vehicle. Anyway, video captured by reporters at the scene showed frightened crowds of people suddenly fleeing the memorial after what had been a peaceful gathering earlier in the day. The chaos erupted one day after Hussle was gunned down outside his Marathon clothing store in South Los Angeles. Okay, so for everybody that don't know, see, this is one of the things that make this thing that makes this particular situation so tragic. I'm going to talk about Skinny from the 9 for 1 second. So Skinny from the 9 was attacked by somebody who came up to him and wanted to have a picture. Right? We all saw what happened. Somebody came up to Skinny from the 9, asked for a picture. Skinny from the 9 said sure, got up to give the guy a picture. The guy attacked him. In Nipsey Hussle's case, the individual that shot Nipsey Hussle didn't ask for a picture, but he was out there posing for pictures with people. So sometimes you got individuals that they say, you know, why people get rich and they leave the hood. Everybody forget about the hood. But then we have cases like this where people They do make it. And they do try to stay as closely connected to the hood as possible, so they could try to be a lifeline for others, so they could be a beacon for others, so they could help others support their families by giving them jobs and whatnot, so they could let the children growing up in the community know there's not only drug dealers in this community, there's not only pimps in this community, there's not only strippers in this community, but there's people who do other things also. And if that is not something that you want to become, you don't have to. And then these individuals are attacked and shot and killed and everything. XXXTentacion, he did not leave his neighborhood neither. He stayed in basically the community that he knew. Nipsey Hussle, he not only stayed in the community that he knew, that he grew up in, on the block where he himself has already said that he used to, do whatever illegal activities that he was doing when he was growing. He stayed in that neighborhood and tried to help those people. And this is what happened. So sometimes we got to think to ourselves, as much as we don't want our affluent neighbors to leave, sometimes we have to choose if them staying is as important to us as them living. Sometimes you just can't have both. Anyway, police late Monday identified a suspect in Hussle's killing, 29-year-old Eric Holder of Los Angeles. Eric Holder is actually the guy that we've been hearing goes by the name of Shitty Cuz. According to police, Holder walked up to Hussle and two other men Sunday afternoon and opened fire, killing Hussle and injuring the others. The suspect then ran into an adjacent alley where a sedan driven by an unidentified woman was waiting, the LAPD says. Police are asking for the public for help locating Holder and any information related to the shooting. Now, something I just want to add here real quick. Holder, as we know, is the individual that decided that he was going to determine how much longer Nipsey Hussle was going to live. This is the individual that decided this. And he took it into his own hands to take action. Him. There are a lot of people that think that it should be street justice that should be done. I've seen one post put up where somebody said that he should be, picked up by people in the street and tortured until he apologizes to Nipsey Hussle and Nipsey Hussle's family and all of his loved ones. This is one of those situations where just recently I had somebody come on the channel and they were saying, you know what, we need to have police just for black people. And yeah, that sounds just absolutely outrageous, because how are you going to do that? We barely have enough money to pay for the police that is for everyone. These guys are really underpaid, and that actually is what creates most of the issues and problems in our community. Imagine being a police officer and you making, I don't know, $40,000 a year, $45,000 a year, and you got some drug dealer on the street that, didn't do half of the training or put in half of what you consider to be hard work, what you consider, being the police officer, that is, to be hard work, and this person is pulling in $70,000, $80,000 a year, and he isn't even one of the high-level drug dealer guys. Imagine how that feels. So yeah, police officers need to be paid a little bit better. If that happened, maybe we'd be able to sort this out a little more and get a lot of the police officers that don't deserve their jobs out of those jobs. Just to say, so how are we going to pay for a black police force and we can't really pay the police that's for everybody an adequate wage for risking their lives or whatever it is? This is not a hate the police channel, by the way, y'all. This is we're logical over here. We think with our brains more than we think with our hearts. But I do understand the outrage at some of the things that some of these police officers do, and they need to be held accountable, and they need to be imprisoned for the acts against the law that they commit, and that's a fact. But if this guy is found, it would just be best if he is found by the police, So I am not going to be an advocate over here telling anybody that if you see this guy, pick this guy up and torture him. If you see this guy, pick this guy up and kill him. I'm not going to be an advocate for that. I'm pretty sure that if this particular gentleman gets arrested and then he has to go to jail, there'll be enough street justice or prison justice in jail to go around. That's just my opinion. Anyway, surveillance footage of the shooting published by TMZ shows a man approach the rapper and shoot him multiple times at close range before fleeing. Before we even get past this little part right here, it is also said that he stood over him to shoot him in the head one more time and kicked him in the head. This was extremely personal. I get it that a lot of people think that there's some kind of government agency hired this man to do this heinous act. But at the end of the day, this sounds like something that was extremely personal. Anyway, not long before fleeing the shooting, Hussle tweeted, Hussle tweeted, having strong enemies is a blessing. The Los Angeles County Coroner's Office on Monday said Hussle died of gunshot wounds to his torso and head. In the aftermath of the chaos in Hussle's memorial, people reportedly started throwing candles at LAPD officers as LAPD officers tried to clear the scene. A dispersal order was issued and no one is allowed back to the site. Now, I'm about to say something that might sound like it's defending police officers, which I am not in this case. But what I am going to say is that they really can't allow, or they shouldn't allow, a group of civilians that it might be a hostile situation. It might be a hostile situation to stand around all night long at a vigil. Now, I say that to say this. Let's say they were the police in this particular case was okay with everyone standing around. And they were just standing there and all they listened to was all the different horrific things that was going to happen to this young man when he gets caught. 29-year-old Eric Holder. That makes this vigil now a mob. Do I think they should have just left the people stand there and grieve? Absolutely. I don't think that the people should have had to leave. I think they should have been able to stay there and grieve. That's my opinion. But once you have a group of people who are standing there and now they start speaking about all the horrific things that they're going to do to this individual when and if they catch him, that now is a mob. The police have very little recourse at that point than to disperse you. Because there's no telling what might happen. There's no telling if some people that's not even involved or have anything to do with the actual murder now get into a random fight or a random argument. There's no telling how much weed was being smoked while everybody was out there. How much alcohol was being ingested while everybody was out there. So while everybody is pissed off that the police told them that they had to leave, they should be, because, you know, in a perfect world, he wouldn't have been murdered. In a perfect world in which way he was murdered, everybody would have been able to stand there as long as they want and grieve. But this is not a perfect world, as proof of his murder. And this is not a perfect world that he was murdered in, as proof of everybody was not allowed to stand there and grieve. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one. I'm out. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you would like to help dictate the direction that this channel takes, please leave a comment. All comments are appreciated, whether positive or negative. Thank you very much and enjoy your day. And remember, positive thoughts cause for positive things to happen. Let's get it.